Hello everyone, welcome to Namte Chris Show. Today we are going to share with you some culture shock, really culture shock that is still going on in my own village. Hello everyone, welcome to Namte Chris Show. Today we are going to share with you some culture shock, really culture shock that is still going on in my own village, my own community, my own local governments right now. So, as my people will say, problem has no permanent settlements or residents. So also achievements, success, weird tales, and culture shock that you are about to listen to. Please stay with us. This channel is one that is going to be listening or giving a listening ear to your stories, true stories, not hearsay, not the one that you tell story about another person's culture, but your own culture. What you witness, what you can give accounts of, not exaggerated stories, to not diluted stories, clean stories. We are not for fake stories. So if you have such story, please call us with the number that you are about to see on a screen. Call us and tell us wherever you are. If you are where I am or where we are going to get to you. We see one-on-one. But if you are not where I am and you can't locate me, please feel free to call and then we will get your story published. Thank you. So, this weird story of mine that I'm about to tell you guys is about me, about my community, about my people. We call it Awaduook and Awadia. That means that sacrifice, that you make it and throw it away, and sacrifice, after the sacrifice you eat it. And what is it all about? This sacrifice take an effect on first daughter and second daughter of the family. You might wonder why or where I come from to have this weird culture. Well, I am proud of my place, but then I am not proud of this weird culture that has taken my people, my three loved ones from me, my aunts from my mom's side, my uncle from my dad's side, and my dad's aunts. I am not going to touch any other person's family in the community, in the village. As I said, do not talk about anyone unless it is necessary. So right now, I am going to focus on those three persons that this weird culture has snatched from me. This culture, as I said, centered on Adiara of this community. That is the first daughter, Adiara and Unwa of this community. It's a sad one. We don't know where this culture emanated from. We know nothing about this culture, but yet we are paying dearly for this culture, and there is no sacrifice or there is nothing you can do to abolish this. People have tried and are tired. When your daughter is of marriageable stage, if you have a boyfriend or fiancé, yes, there is no problem. But the day that your fiancé open his mouth to say to your parents, I love your daughter and I am going to get married to your daughter. That is the day your problem begins. Your parent would no longer take anything from your hands, because it might be that the man has given you even 1 naira, and when your parents take anything that comes from you, that guy sweats, money, struggling money is inside, his hard-earned money is inside, that is the end of your parents. You might ask, what if your mom is not from that community? There is no problem. If you're not from that community, there is still a problem, because that means that both your mom and your dad is going to forbid you. They call it forbidden hand, uboribet. That means that the day your mom had gotten married to your dad, that is the day that the law has hold her ransom. But what if your mom is from that community but is from another lineage, and your dad is from another lineage? As in my community, we have 3 families. So if your dad gets married to your mom from another family, another lineage, it means that maybe in that lineage, your mom would forbid the second daughter. Then your mom can eat from you, the first daughter, Adiara, but cannot eat from the second daughter. But if a family also is forbidding first daughter, then both your mom and your dad would forbid you. As in my case, my mom is from another family, another lineage from my dad, but still the same community. So my mom would not forbid the first daughter, but rather the second daughter. So let's go. When this man has pronounced that he is going to marry you, from that moment henceforth, nothing from that man ends would ever touches your mom or your dad's mouth if they both forbid you. Okay, someone out there might ask a question. What if you are in America and the guy use, or any other country, foreign land, and the guy use phone or make a phone call to tell you that he is going to get married to the daughter? What will happen? It will still take an effect. That is the end of it. And when you come home without the sacrifice of Awaduook, when you bring something home, definitely there is no how you would travel from a foreign land or a city home that your fiancé money, your intended money, will not be included to anything that you have, knowingly or unknowingly. So when you get to your compound, then your dad, if he's the one that is forbidding you, you stand outside the house and your dad will give you any money at all. I be 1 naira, 10 naira, any amount, so far it is that land currency. And he will tell you that he has bought everything that you have brought, because anyone that buys market intends to buy a good thing. So he would eat that food in peace. But let me tell you something. What if you are going to stay there 2-3 days and you have money in your purse and you have money in your bank, and then you dash to POS or bank and withdraw some money that maybe is part of the money that that man has given you, and you buy like fruits, you buy like anything, granuts, anything, and then your dad, you might have forgotten, because you are human, you can't really keep to those rules. And then your dad or your mom, depending who is forbidding you, would just come, see granite, oh, you are eating granite, and he picks it and put it in his mouth. That is the end of that particular life on earth. I am telling you, it won't take up to a week or two or a month. You are going to bury that soul. There is no sacrifice to appease this weird culture. And how is this sacrifice done? Well, they use tortoise and other things that I wouldn't know. They will call the family members and friends of the family, but the money must come from the man. Whether the man is there or not, they will use his name that he has paid for the Awaduook. And this, any of your parents that forbids you during the sacrifice of Awaduook, if he doesn't want to leave his compound, he wants to stay there and see how it is done, maybe it is done correctly or not, they would use like face mask and mask his mouth, or they use cloth to tie his mouth. He will stay there without taking anything, and the sacrifice will be performed by those that knows it. After performing it using this tortoise, they will eat all and all people would eat it, but this said person would not participate to the sacrifice food. And after the sacrifice, what next? A water will be brought in the open. Everyone would wash their hands and take an oath that if they have taken any particle, any morsel of the food out, let them not survive it. But trust me, you know people, some of them will smuggle particle of that food. Some of them put it in their finger nails, just a bit. However they can hide it, intending to do evil with it. They will go with it. Some of them would hide it and take it to their homes. But everyone has to wash their hands, remove their pockets, search themselves, and take this oath that they will not use this food to cause evil to the parents of this person. And what if the person has taken this food home? Oh yes, the person might come back in a month, in 2 weeks, the following day, that same day, or however the person will feel. You know, wicked people, when they want to do something, they don't ask for your permission, and they are crafty. They will just come back. In an African community or setting, they don't really cook food inside kitchen. Although they have kitchens, but they like cooking in the backyard of the house in an open space. Someone might just come in, sit with you, and be gisting with you. You will likely go to fetch some water, get some firewood, and the person would now drop that morsel of food, eating or taking from the Awaduook, into your food. And what happened? That is the end of that individual. Oh yes. And after that, what next? After the Awaduook, they will now clean up everywhere, dig a hole, and then sweep the whole compound. Whatever, wash the whole dishes, wash the whole pots, very clean without allowing anything to touch it. And then they will now dig hole and pour everything if they couldn't finish it. That is why they call it Awaduook, the sacrifice, and throw it away. No remnants, no nothing. You can't take it to go and eat somewhere. Eat there and leave it there. After that, they will seal the pits or the hole, and then everything is gone. So if This sacrifice was done on Friday, Saturday, but they have the names of the day that they can do this sacrifice. They call it added obo. I don't know added obo. It does not come like every Friday. This Wednesday might be ederebu. Another week, Wednesday might be ederetara. Another one might be fiongetuk fiongoran. But if the another, I don't know how they calculate it. But if this ederebu falls on Friday, that is 1 week, the way they calculate it. And then the awadia would take an effect. That is a week interval. Yes. After that, your said husband must be present in this particular one. Not that they forbid him from being present in the first one. He can be present and eat it, no problem. But this awadia, your husband has to be present. Goats, cows, no tortoise this time, chicken, everything. However, you are capable, but it is a jolliment day. They want to come and remove your father uboribet from mouth, the forbidden hand from the mouth. So after this food has been prepared, a table will be set for your dad, if he's the one, for your mom, if she's the one, for the both parents, if they are both involved. Then your husband will sit this side, your dad will sit that side, opposite direction. And then the food will be so big as that of Okonkwo's food. Do you know what Okonkwo's food is? As high as ant hill. Then no one will be seeing anyone's face because of the hugeness of this particular usongudia. Then the afiafere board is there with all the orishi inside. Then your husband would throw his face the other side and look at your dad and cut the lumps. Let him find out now how big is the lump of your father's swallow. And let your dad also find out how he eats. And your husband now would cut the meal, the swallow, we call it okposong. He will mold it very smoothly and then would dip into the afiafere and then feed your dad, just as the bride to the groom and groom to the bride. And everyone there will clap hand, and he will repeat that, my etewan me, that is my father-in-law, etewan me, today I have removed every ubori bed that me, burying me to take care of you. Today, the ubori bed has been removed. You can eat from me. You can get anything from me, and you should not die. Everyone will clap hand, and your dad will do same to him and say that also, that nothing by any means shall hurt them. Everything is now finished. Then music, dance, jubilation, and the day of the traditional marriage is going to be fixed this time. And do you know what? I am from Akwa Ibom State of Nigeria, in case you want to know, and my local government or my district is called Ibionibom Local Government of Akwa Ibom State. So in the Akwa Ibom State, this said Akwa Ibom State, someone might come out to counter this, that they don't have it. Oh yes, they don't have it, but we have it in Ibionibom, and this Ibionibom is one of the, if not the largest local government in that state. Then we have Ibiono 1 and we have Ibiono 2, and both Ibiono 1 and Ibiono 2, they have this God-forsaken, weird culture. Why do I name it weird culture? Is because it has taken my loved ones, 3 of my loved ones from me. As I said, first, he took away Mama, my mom, younger sister. Secondly, he took away my dad, aunt, Mata. Thirdly, he took away my uncle, Basi. Oh my God. May their soul rest in perfect peace. I miss you guys. I miss you guys. I miss you guys. Rest well. Amen. And I am not going to go deeply to the one on. I'm not going to talk much on the Madam Mata, my dad's aunt. I am going to talk about my uncle Basi, because that one is the very recent one, 3 years ago. You know, my uncle Basi said, he told me that he was not going to forbid any of his daughters because he was a born-again Christian, that no tradition would come and detect anything for him, that he was going to eat the daughter's food anyhow, anytime, any day. And guess what? His daughter was impregnated by someone, and he got that man arrested. And in the police station, the man said, "Sir, please do not lock me. Forgive me, for I have good intentions towards your daughter. I know I have done wrong, but I am going to get married to your daughter." The guy was just saying to defend himself or to make the man took pity on him. But I tell you, this is what killed my uncle 2020. And then the daughter was actually stayed with my uncle to put to bed, because where I come from, you cannot marry someone with the pregnancy. But little did they know, they could have done the Awaduook if the marriage was not going to be involved. But this guy, you know, for the pregnant girl being with the father, this guy used to send some money to upkeep. And this girl would use the money to prepare food or prepare anything or to buy something. I did not know how this money got to my uncle's mouth. Although he said he wasn't going to forbid anything, he ate it one night. According to my sister that stays with my dad, my uncle put a call across to my dad that, "Mr. Chris, I am sick." Then my sister said it was around 10 p.m. And my dad now went there because his house is not far from us. And my sister accompanied my dad. And when they got to his house, he was in his bedroom. And my dad, because there was no lights, electricity at that moment, and my dad uses his phone touch and pointed at him to see how the brother was lying on the bed. And immediately my dad pointed this torch at him. He now went out without saying a word. And my sister, having waited for some time without seeing my dad, went out to see why my dad behaved like that, or whether he was going to get some drugs to his brother. So my sister said my dad was outside weeping, 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 weeping. And my dad and my sister now said, what happened? What? My dad now said to my sister, oh, my brother is gone. And my sister did not really understood why. And my sister said, why? Someone just called you and he is still talking. He still is not that, is very weak and nothing. Instead of you to arrange for him to be taken to the hospital, you said he's gone. My dad now said, you won't understand. My brother has taken Ubori bed into his mouth. And how did he get to know that? Or how did he, yes, how did he get to know that? It's through the facial appearance, the foot, how it was looking, because this thing would turn you to very bouncing person. You look blown. Your face would be shining. Your feet would be shining. You'll be added some weight, and it will be as if you have kidney problem. Your body will be swollen up, and you look very somehow beautiful as a newborn baby. And my dad saw that in the brother, and then he noticed that he had seen the brother in the daytime. The brother was not like that, and this night the brother is like this. But coupled with the daughter that is pregnant, and my dad quickly, as an elderly person, knew that the worst has happened. And I tell you, that man did not see the following day. Oh yes, we buried him. Uncle Basi, keep resting in peace. Keep resting in peace. I really did love you. So, oh yes, and someone might ask that there is going to be a sacrifice that can take this away after you might have taken this thing into your stomach. I tell you, I've never seen any yet. Like my dad Aunt Mata or Madam Mata, the children are well to do. They call an herbalist who promised them that he was going to lift this curse. They gave him everything that he demanded. He took them away and said he has done everything, that she was going to be okay. But then she died in her sleep. I am not talking about any other family members or any other people's family. I focus on my family, because this channel is such that would not take lightly with people who fabricate stories, who tell people other people's family stories, who tells other people community stories. No, let everyone tell their stories. You can tell your community story that is not you. You can tell general story in your community, in your state, if you know it very well. But do not come from like Akwa Ibom and you go and tell story about Cross River people. Do not come from Cross River and you tell a story of Enugu people. Do not be a Kenyan and then tell a story of Zimbabwe, because you will not tell it correctly. Let the people tell their story, because we are for truth. This channel will also listen or give you a listening here, and the people watching would also give you a listening here, and we'll see if they have anything to do to help you out, to support you, to lift you, and to enjoy with you, and to tap from you, and to learn from you. You might not know, what your story would do to someone. Like me now, if you are entangled or you are in love with Ibiono girl, please do not say I did not tell you. Do not disappoint her at the tail end of it, that you never told me that you have this tradition. That you have this, do not tell me, or do not form that you don't know they have this tradition. Please keep this in mind. Or share this story, subscribe to it, like and comment. Do you have this kind of weird culture or more weirder than this? Do you have any achievements?